everybody. Happy Monday night. Welcome to Comedy Doctors, the show where you send us your problems, your gripes, and we give you awful, terribly funny advice. I'm your host, Frank Licari. Thanks for joining us again. We have a great show for you tonight, despite our opening that you just probably heard the entire technical problems that we were having. But we're here. We're excited. But before we can start, we need you to go down to the comment sections and send us all your gripes and your problems right now. Don't post them to your timelines. Don't put them somewhere else. Give them to us so you don't end up losing your job and hating family members that hate you and putting all your political posts up there. Give them to us. We'll take care of them. We've got a great show tonight. We got some very, very funny comedians here. But before we introduce them, we have to introduce our sponsor, without whom we wouldn't have a show. So let's say thanks to them.
The Big Apple Shopping Bazaar Jewelry Exchange and Salon and Spa Suites. Located off Atlantic Avenue in beautiful Delray Beach, Florida, this unique mini-mall will transport you to the streets of New York City for a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. The Big Apple Shopping Bazaar provides shoppers with over 65 one-of-a-kind specialty boutiques with amazing items at fantastic prices. For more information, go to BigAppleShoppingBazaar.com.
Fantastic. I can't hear any of the promos that are being put out there. I'm assuming you guys can, but we can't hear all the comedians talking in the background, which is awesome. This is fantastic. It's a live show. Let's introduce our first comedian who's had amazing technical difficulties. You've seen her on Days of Our Lives, Baywatch, Significant Mother, Anger Management. Please say hello to Krista Allen. Krista,
hello.
How are you? How's it going?
I'm on set right now, as I'm sure everybody.
Yes, we all heard.
Yeah, they just threw me back in a room that apparently they're like, "Can you move to another room now?" And I was like, "No." So yeah, I'm in between scenes right now.
You're in between scenes and you're doing the show. This is fantastic. Look at you.
It's fantastic. I know I'm a multitasker.
Busy girl. All right. Well, sit tight while I introduce our second comedian. This dude, you've seen him on Leno, Fallon, Letterman, Comics Unleashed, a good buddy of mine. Please welcome Bobby Collins to the fray. Oh, Bobby.
Bobby
Hey
Collins.
guys.
Oh,
Hi,
God.
Krista. How are you?
I'm good, Bobby. It's so good to see your face. You look so handsome.
Well, let's not lie to him. It's
Yeah,
not great to see his face. Let's be
jealous,
honest.
Frank. Don't be jealous.
Thank you, Krista.
I love Bobby's
very
face.
welcome.
Him and
I
Will,
love
you know
you.
how they are.
I
Yeah.
love Bobby's face.
I didn't
All
know
right,
I didn't know Bobby was still alive.
You can't talk yet, Will. You're not introduced yet. Let's introduce Will. You've seen Will on the Tonight Show. That's how old, with Carson. That's how old Will is. You've seen him. Peggy Sue Got Married, Late Night with Letterman, An Evening at the Improv. Welcome, Wil Shriner, everyone.
Hello, cheers, comedy doctors. I'm drinking
Will-
cough syrup right now.
Will has been drunk
Nice.
since 7 o'clock, so this should be wonderful.
The show was really good. I wish I could stay.
he's
And
still
boy,
there.
can we all agree that the show got so much uglier after I introduced our first comedian? Can we all agree on that? It just went downhill from there. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Everybody good?
I was actually dead in my last scene, so I put on some red lipstick, so at least I wouldn't look dead.
They killed you and you're coming back for another scene?
No, it's a whole thing. But
I
yeah, I'm
got you.
supposed to be dead in somebody's flashback. It's a whole anyway. So
I got you. Well, we know what she's working on. How are we all doing with this COVID thing? How's this all going?
I love it.
You love it.
I love it. I am such an introvert anyway, and so the fact that I don't have to actually go do things is amazing. I when I go out to parties and I do things, I'll go, but I'm always looking for the nearest exit. Like, and I'm the one that's like, I leave early. So this has been really nice, and just, I mean, not the COVID part. I'm saying
Right.
the pandemic part, like staying home. Yeah.
The effects of the COVID you love. The COVID itself.
Like being able to stay home. Yes,
Right.
I don't like all the deaths and everything that's happened. No, of course
Right.
not. But I do like that it's allowed me to not feel guilty for flaking.
Being out in the
I'm
world
like a
in general.
croissant.
Yeah.
I'm delicious, but a little flaky,
Wow. Never heard
Yeah.
anybody
I never
describe
like
it.
shaking hands or hugging people anyway, so it's perfect for me.
That's
Right.
good for you. You hate people in general. So
In
that's good.
general, except you guys.
Yeah. What
And
about
that's
you, Bob?
temporary.
I'm out here in the white privileged California. These people are riding around in their Land Rovers, and they're like, "Oh, how come you don't have a mask? You should have a mask on." To everybody.
You should fucking have
Yeah.
a mask.
Of
Yeah.
course you
Fucking have a
should.
mask.
But
Yeah. So don't even.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's
We
get
all
this
should.
shit over with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The quicker it's
But I
over.
still think
it's
you're
Jumanji.
handsome, Bobby.
It's Jumanji out there. It's
Uh,
crazy.
I'm going to ask you guys the same thing I asked last week. COVID's horrible. Everybody's having horrible. But what's the funniest thing that's happened to you during COVID? Do you have a funny story? Is there anything funny that's happened out of this? Because as comedians, we're always taught to look at the world from a different lens, right? What's the funniest thing? Anything come to your mind there, Will?
Oh, and my grandfather died from COVID. I just laughed all weekend.
Yeah.
That's always a funny thing.
I'm telling
hilarious.
you, the whole family laughed because he left us all money.
Is that right?
No, I'm just.
Yeah.
He's going to hell.
I'm going to hell. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's hard to find the funny in it. And people ask you, what's your jokes? And I go, I really don't have a lot of COVID jokes. I mean,
Yeah.
when you think about it, I mean, I'm sure when we get back on stage, we'll interact with the audience and come up with stuff. But right now, I don't really, make a lot of fun out of it.
No.
It's been hard because there's not a lot of work. There's not a lot of even. I'm not inspired to work. I don't know about Bobby. I mean, I know he's got to work because he's got that huge wife that spends all that money. But I don't really have. I'm not inspired to do much. I mean, if it wasn't for my trying to get my handicap down, I'd have nothing to live for.
Right. Bobby, is that true? Is your huge wife making you pay?
I mean, when I say huge, I don't mean size.
No, I know.
Now, back it in. Back
Yeah.
it in. No, it's been strange. First 3 months, it was like, oh, this is great. I haven't been home for 2 weeks in 40 years. This is wonderful. I'm getting to know my family, my special daughter. It's great. After that, okay, enough. Where we go? We got to get on a plane. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, you go stir crazy.
Oh.
It's getting tough. It's getting tough, but hopefully at some point soon we'll be able to at least get back to some semblance of normalcy. But well, it's great to have all three of you. What do you say we help some people with their gripes and problems? You guys ready for this?
Oh my gosh, I thought you'd never ask.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's their first mistake, coming to us for help and problems.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Let's start with our first issue. What's our first issue? Do we have one coming up? Let me move these things. I can't hardly see anything right now. Let me move this out of the way. I'm probably the only person that why can't I read that? Oh, there it is. I'm probably the only person who's happy about social distancing. See, I work in an office and the employee in the cubicle near mine wears way too much perfume. For now, we're spread out, which is nice, but I know the second this pandemic goes away, I'll be trapped next to her again. So until then, I need to come up with a plan. What should I do, says Brittany in San Francisco. We got an office worker wearing way too much perfume. I mean, this
Has she talked to her? Do we have any more information?
That's all I
Talk
get.
to the person? Right.
That's all I get, Krista.
We don't have enough information. If she
Sure
hadn't
you
said,
do.
yo, you wear a little bit too much perfume, can you do something? If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, oh God, I'm so sorry. But if she's just sitting there not saying anything and victiming out about the fact that she has too much perfume, then her balls need to drop a little bit, you know what I mean?
So
Technically speaking.
Right. Drop your balls is what you said. I think that's the part I
Talk to
caught.
her.
I got that part.
I'm saying talk to her.
I got you. I latched on to drop your balls. That's the first thing I.
Don't you ever say that when somebody needs to like get some confidence? You're like, drop your balls. It doesn't
All
matter
the
if you're
time.
a man or a woman.
I know. I use that phrase at least 3 times a week. Drop your balls. It's a very common phrase, and
You know what? If you don't, you will now, and I have
I
faith
will.
in that.
I appreciate that.
That's the way I met
Drop
Bobby
your
when he was
balls.
dropping his ball. I met Bobby dropping his balls. That's how we first met.
Is that right?
Yeah. But let's play basketball.
What do you?
Play ping pong with our ball.
And he was just really fumbling.
Yeah, he was just not a good player.
What do you say, Will? What do
Well,
you
I think
say
you
to
got to come in. You got to come in heavy and hard and put on an awful lot of your own perfume, and then just walk over to her and go, "Listen, do you like my perfume? Because I'm wearing like a quart of it, And then that's because that feels like you are too. So let's tone it back. I think lead by example.
Interesting. So in your reasoning, if somebody were to have bad breath, and the way to tell them would be for you to go and approach them with worse breath than they have.
You got it right, Frank. This is why you're the host of the show.
Oh man, listen, nothing gets by me, Will.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm putting it all together. So far I got drop your balls and wear more perfume than they are wearing. Bobby, what do you say to what would you do if somebody was doing that to you?
Very easily. Our cubicles now are going to be closer together. I would fart a lot and fart loud.
Wow.
To the point where she would be looking at me and I'd go, ate a lot of strange shit last night. And keep blowing them out.
So the point being,
I was thinking the fart thing too, and I thought, no.
But are you?
See, I was taking the classy track.
Oh yeah, well that's always you, Will. Always classy first. That's for sure. Okay. So far from our illustrious comedians, we've got. Let me reiterate.
Are you doing a recap already?
Yes. Drop your balls. Just want to make sure I get that out. Fart as much as you can.
Right.
And Will said, smell worse than they do.
No, oversmell.
Oversmell, right? Over perfume yourself.
Overdo it.
Okay. Well, there's so many great opinions and so many great solutions. You pick one.
Mine's the best, but we can keep moving on.
No. There's definitely you guys all have a little bit of there's good and bad of everything that you have said so far. Let's move on and help our next person. What do you got? What do you got for me? Oh, my husband lost his job during the pandemic.
Jill.
I encouraged him to take up exactly. I encouraged him to take up a hobby as I could see he was down and needed to focus his energy elsewhere. I regret doing so. He binge watched Cobra Kai and chose to pursue karate as an outlet. Now he turned my garage into a dojo and birds are shitting on my car outside. I should have kept my mouth shut. Cecilia from Houston, Texas. Are y'all familiar to the comedians here? Are y'all familiar with Cobra Kai and what that show is?
No.
Okay, so you're familiar with the Karate Kid, right?
Right.
Yes.
All right. The classic movie. Well, for us, the over 40 crowd, some of us a little older, they made a show based on the Karate Kid's. This is a true story. They made a show.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a sequel to the movie where now they're older, and the guy who was fighting Ralph Macchio's character is now creating a dojo. Okay. And then Ralph Macchio's the successful car salesman, and then he has to create a dojo, and now they're rivals again. So it's a Karate Kid sequel. It's actually pretty good. I watched it with my 12-year-old. But now you got this guy, his dad, I guess, presumably husband, who has lost his job. He's taking it a little too seriously, opened up his own dojo. Bobby, what do you say? What would you say if your wife pick a show? Let's say it was, maybe a cooking show, and she decided now she's going to quit everything she does, presumably, and now she's going to open up a Rachel Ray internet show. What would you say to somebody like that? Kind of.
First thing I would say is, honey, sit down. We have to have a talk. And then if it didn't go well, I would grab my bags that were already packed, and I'd be on my way out.
I'm hoping that your bags are already packed because you're waiting to go on the road, right? Yeah. I want to make sure Jill understands that she's watching this. He doesn't mean that he's already ready to hit the road and leave. He's ready to get back on the road. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. His extensive outfit of black shirts and a wrinkled suit are not hard to pack.
I was gonna say, tough. It's not a big bag that he leaves.
Not a big bag when he leaves.
Krista, excuse these two guys. I've known them a long time, and one's been in prison, and the other one has personal problems.
Right, and that
they're
both me. They're both me.
It's very clear. I understand. I don't know. I could have guessed that.
Yeah.
I've been in both, and just me, so it's all good.
Help!
Let's talk more about Krista's prison time.
Yes. Krista, what would you say if your husband decided he's going to open up a dojo and quit his job and never look for another job again?
Look, I love encouraging people to do whatever the hell it is, even if it's something super kooky. If he's like, if it makes him happy, great. That means he's happy. That means I'm happier. But the biggest thing about this letter is that she's complaining that now the birds are shitting all over her car. But the thing she's not taking away is wax on, wax off. This guy's got it under control. He knows how to clean a car.
Very nice. Wow.
I would say close the garage door would be my first piece of advice.
That's right. Way to bring it back around, Krista, like 35 years later. Very nice. What a great reference.
Thank you
Will,
very much.
Very astute.
Yeah.
Obviously a fan of Karate Kid. Will, what you'd say close the garage? Is that your thing?
Well, that was just if there's bird shit all over the car. Last time I told the guy to follow his dreams, it was John Wayne Gacy, and it didn't work out.
That did not work out well. Terrible advice, Will.
So that's why I don't lecture.
I thought you were saying, like, close the garage door with the car engine running, and you were going there. Yeah. So, not a big deal, right? I think I'm with Krista on this one. Let him have his fun, right?
Have a hobby. Yeah, having a hobby is a good thing.
And kids, obviously he's not going to have any kids in his dojo because they can't, 6 feet apart. Maybe he'll be able to do private lessons. Not bad. Let him have at it. I agree with you. Good stuff, guys. Yeah, you never know. And when this is all over, maybe he's a famous.
Lighten up.
Yes.
Go do something. Go start a group with a bunch of women and go do the thing that you like to do and be happy.
You hear that,
be
Bobby?
happy.
Go start.
What did you say?
Why does a doctor have a megaphone? I've never seen a doctor with a megaphone.
He has a very unique prostate exam with a megaphone, and you don't want to be part of it.
Yes, so.
He has a megaphone because he has no patience.
Very
Big line.
Wow. This is fantastic.
Bobby thought this was an audition for a doctor's job, is what he's wearing the jacket.
Come on, we got a wonderful actress with it and a comedian.
I just noticed that Bobby had a doctor jacket on.
You just figured it out? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does it say there, Bobby? What's your name on the jacket? Does it say Bobby on? What is it? Who did you steal that from?
It says the Palm Restaurant.
That's a busboy jacket. Oh, perfect.
Busboy jacket.
Yeah, here we've been making fun of you. Now, yeah, if I could get some more mashed potatoes.
Hey, way to repurpose from your old jobs, Bobby. Way to go. Way to repurpose the uniform. Very nice.
Love it.
Let's move on. What's our next issue? Problem. What do we got? You got something for me? God, I'm tearing up. Oh, look at this. Let's see. I live in Florida and have been to Tampa several times. I recently watched Tiger King on Netflix during the lockdown. Should I be concerned if I'm walking in downtown Tampa at night and run into Carol Baskin? Have you guys all watched Tiger King?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, right?
Well, it was a phenomenal success. Don't get it, but go ahead. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. Now, I know Bobby goes to Florida a lot. I used to live there. But Will, you are a staple of Florida, right?
I was in Tampa last week doing a gig, and I did not see Carol Baskin. Tampa's become quite the happening city. When I was here in the 70s going to school, Tampa was like old people, but now it's like a metropolis. There's all kinds of banking there. It's big, big time. Bobby's played there. We got a beautiful improv there. The Tampa Improv is a fun place to work. I was there with Mr. Kevin Nealon not too long ago.
I hear that's a beautiful, beautiful club.
It's like a 3-story club. It's great.
Yeah. Do you guys think, because here's the way I felt about like the Jersey Shore. I felt like Jersey Shore was a bad example, right, to the world of what New Jersey is, right? Because it's a small little area, and that's not all of Jersey. Do you think Tiger King is doing the same thing for Florida now? Is that people are watching? Or do you think Florida's done it to itself?
Well, Florida's this middle of Florida is like that. The rest of Florida, Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa, there's some sophistication, but the middle of Florida is exactly like Tiger King.
It's Arkansas, right? The middle of Florida?
But you got to remember, when you're dead, you don't know you're dead. Other people feel the pain. Same
Right.
thing when you're stupid.
If
Right.
you're gonna die, have a good tan, is what I say.
And
That's
same
right.
thing when you're stupid. And there's a lot of parts of Florida that,
Right.
Right, but guys, let's just point out something here too, is that it wouldn't have been a success unless you're highlighting people that are batshit crazy, right? So it's like,
Right.
what the Florida, right?
Right.
What
But
the
I-
Florida? So
I fe-
yeah,
I feel like Florida
Jersey
always,
Shore and stuff.
yeah, I feel like Florida always highlights itself like that, though, doesn't it? Whenever you see a news story, isn't it always like Will, you were talking pre-show about the hurricanes, right? Is it me, or is it every time there's a hurricane, they always show that one guy, right, who's in the trailer park and he's refusing to leave the trailer park, right? It's
Exactly.
always the same story.
Exactly.
And I think it's things like that that feed the media that go, okay, this is what Florida's about. But like you said, Will, there are astute people like yourself, Will.
Well,
like
let's not get carried away.
I'm lying to the camera, but that's why I repeated myself.
Uh,
But there are people there that, they're not all bad, right?
no,
There's
not bad. We're
stereotypes of everywhere.
Yeah, we're going to be the pivotal place in the election. They're finding boxes of Hillary Clinton ballots. They're finding
So-
Al Gore ballots. They're finding start to go through the mail here. But my buddy Carl Hyacin, who's a great Florida writer, said the reason Florida is so popular and there's so many criminals here is because if you're going to break the law, why not do it in nice weather? And that's why they're all here.
Right.
Yeah.
and they got that, and you got that governor there to test this.
DeSantis, he's doing all right.
Yeah.
So he opened up the bars a little bit early.
Yeah.
Natural selection. Natural
Hey.
selection.
Leadership.
Everybody's different. Florida has its own rules. I've always thought of Florida, even when it was its own country. It's got its own sort of set of parameters, doesn't it?
Yeah. We the laughing stock of the other countries. And Tampa is like the
Mentally,
laughing stock of Florida.
Yeah.
That is true.
I think Florida probably has the most significant number of trauma or emotional trauma related
I think you're right.
illnesses
Yeah,
than
because I
anyone.
think people go to Florida, they escape, right? They go to Florida for an escape. And
We
I
have
think
no state income tax is why you come here. That's the
it.
number one reason.
you
And then
But I'm
And-
saying on the part where people are kind of kooky and crazy, and the people, and there's a definite disconnect of what you'd want to go have coffee with, or you'd actually cross the other side of the street for.
right.
Plus, you
Yeah.
can take a
Love it.
nap at the red lights.
That's
yes,
right.
yes.
But,
I grew a beard. I grew a beard at a light the other day.
Oh my God!
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
the,
tr-
or,
yeah.
the,
Right?
or the flights into West Palm Beach, if you've ever been in that flight where the line is it's just the wait to get off that plane. Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't know if we answered this guy's question, by the way. Is he going to run into Carol?
Baskin.
Yeah, should he be afraid of running into those types of characters? I think Will is saying no, right?
No. We got all kinds of people here, but it's not a
If
bad.
he's-
Yeah,
Especially if
Yeah.
you're on Dancing with the Stars.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what? If he's asking that question, I don't think Carol Baskin is the only thing he needs to be scared about. So I'm thinking there may be I think there's a root issue there, and it has nothing to do with Carol Baskin.
But who's the other guy that got the great set of teeth? There was a guy that had no teeth. Now he's got beautiful implants.
I don't
He was
know.
one of the guys. He was the boyfriend of one of the lead guy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And
that
he's
guy,
now got a
yes.
beautiful set of teeth.
Oh.
I'm
Well,
trying to
sure.
get that dentist's number so Bobby and I can go in.
Yeah. Well, Bobby's doing great. Look at
Oh,
Bobby's got one of the
Bobby's-
best smiles on the planet.
Oh, he's been whitening those teeth back in the 60s.
Yeah, I want to shout out Brian who said a couple comments there. He said Carol Baskin could tame all the meth heads in Florida, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, that's good.
And he said maybe everybody in Florida is sane and we're all crazy. That's what he said. It's a good point. Do you feel that way, Will?
Well, I was up in Tampa the other day and I went to Paso County and I'm like, Paso County, why do I know that name? It's on Cops and Live PD.
Yes.
Every time there's an episode of Live PD, it's in Florida. So you go, oh, okay. I get it now.
Yeah, I spoke to a good friend, a friend of mine, reporter in Palm Beach, and he said whenever news breaks across the country and there's something negative, if you wait 10 minutes, there's going to be a tie to Florida in some way. And he's right. Everything that's major that's ever happened, either they were here first or they trained here or something happened here. Or
Yeah.
it's, and wrecked 2 elections in a row.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Florida. We all love you. I mean, we love Florida.
I've shot in Florida a few times and I really loved it. And I have a friend that's
You can't
out
say
there.
that. You can't say you've shot in Florida. That's you can't use that terminology anymore. You got to say you were filming. Yes, you were filming. Yes. Yes.
I was hunting in Florida.
Yes. You were filming. Yes, go ahead.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That was it. No, I want to
Oh.
go, and I do want to go because it is so beautiful. And the people that I know, which are probably I have about 25 good friends in Florida, and they're some of the best people I know. And so their families are great. So I think there's a stigma about Florida, but the ones that we get to see are the ones that we might cross the other side of the road.
Right, the characters. The
Right?
characters.
And
There's
there's
a lot-
Yeah.
and they're still driving around the parking lots in the malls looking for
Yeah.
their cars.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
they
No,
just
look.
live at Walmart, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the stereotypes, right? But there are characters, and then there are normal people, semi-normal, like Will. And I was there for 13 years. I'm fairly normal.
As a kid, I grew up here, and I went to school in a boat, and I water skied home from school. How cool is that?
Is that right?
What?
Yeah. We didn't even. Yeah.
Where did you go to school? Like on an island? Like,
No,
what do you-
Cardinal Gibbons up on Bayview.
I
I
see.
went
You
with
just came
water
up-
ski. Yeah, water ski home. And I lived in LA for 30 years, and I love Florida. I'm over LA. Bobby lives in the heart of the smoke and the congestion
Bobby's-
and the
Let me
traffic and
tell
the
you what.
homeless. We got no homeless here. Our homeless have they have beautiful tans and one
That's
white
true.
tooth.
You can't tell the difference between the homeless guys and the boat captains. They all look
Right.
the same.
Well,
But,
Ignorance can be educated. Crazy can be medicated. There's no excuse for stupid.
That's
Oh.
true. That's true. That's true.
now I understand the jacket.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Let's move on. Let's see if we can help somebody else. I'm a business executive. However, years ago, I worked at a supermarket, and one of my jobs was collecting carts. To this day, it really pisses me off when people just throw their cart anywhere. I always return my cart where the carts are stored, but really want to ram it into these jerks' cars. Chase from Baltimore, executive now, but he used to work with the carts, and he's got a gripe. This is an interesting gripe, right? It tells you, I think, the kind of person you are, right? When you go to your car and you unload the groceries and you leave the cart in the next space, it tells you a little bit about how much you care about the world around you, doesn't it, Bobby? Would you agree with that?
It's like my wife's mad at me because when I walk the dog at night, there's an alley about a half a block away, and I pee in the alley. And she thinks, Bobby, there's cameras all around. I go, now I wave. Who cares? Who cares? I'm not walking back from Costco or a grocery store or anywhere to return a cart a half an hour away. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm leaving the car.
You're leaving the cart.
Yeah,
not only is Bobby leaving the cart, you're lucky if he doesn't urinate in the spot that he leaves the cart. That's what Bobby
Guys can do that. It's a freedom of men, and I'm so jealous. Just so you know, I wish I could whip it out and pee. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, you can. I used to live in Manhattan, and this is in the 90s, and I more often than not would walk by from my apartment to go wherever I was going, and there was routinely a woman squatting between two parked cars, just doing her thing.
Squatting and whipping it out are two different things. That's
That's true.
Know.
Well, you can't. Well, only because you have nothing. Right, you can't. You have nothing to whip. Right, you have nothing to whip out. It's just sort of there. Where we have a wand. We have something that's like, oh, it's magic.
Right.
It's here. It is. Right.
So when you get to be my age, you squat and then whip it out. So it's
That's
a
right.
double.
That's right. Well, you have to squat for it to actually whip
Right.
out.
Yeah.
And you call it the anaconda.
I think this guy. I think as far as the carts go for me, it depends on where I am. If I'm in a rush and I'm at Target and I am in a rush and I don't have time and it's all the way over here, I'm going to leave it. I don't feel bad. If I have some time, I'm going to put it back. I think the guy that wrote in, because he was made to do this thing with his carts and he had to do it, he felt it was beneath him, right? And so in a sense, he was going through this thing where he was like, these motherfuckers, and he thought it was a disrespect personally. Like he took it personally that these people weren't returning the carts. So I think he needs to kind of go a little bit deeper with this and actually go, what exactly am I so pissed off about? And because he's trying to control, he's like, I work for Chase now, but I'm still pissed off at the people that don't put the cards back.
Now we're
Sounds
going
like
to go to Chase and
sounds
piss
like an
in the
issue.
parking lot.
No, that's a good point you're making. That's a good point. It's like the person who works at the drive-through window getting angry at you for driving up and expecting to have the food and getting angry and saying, why can't you come in and get it yourself? It's their job, is what you're saying, Krista, right? That's his job.
I mean, I think that I think something happened. I think something happened to him that was maybe a little traumatic or something that was really insulting while he was working as a cart, when he was doing this cart thing. And there was something that he would see, maybe people were rude. Maybe there were people in the parking lot that when they had those carts there, they'd leave it right in front of him. And he was like, yo, and he needed to go. It was almost his time out, but now he's
Krista, I think it started earlier than that. It was called in his childhood abandonment.
Right.
No. Yes, and then it goes even deeper. You're right, Bobby. Absolutely.
So Dr. Allen,
nothing to do with the cart.
Dr. Allen is telling you that he has a little bit of PTSD from being a cart returner. He's got a little PTSD, and he's taking it out now, and he's griping. Will, what do you say?
I always, when I go to the grocery store and I come out, I always tell my chauffeur, take the cart and put it back in the rack. I don't really have that time.
Right.
But don't take a long time doing it. So I was at the grocery store today, and the girl was collecting all the carts, and I shot it across the parking lot to her, and she gave me a thumbs up. I mean, that's their job. Somebody's working because we leave our carts in the parking lot. So I'm creating employment down here in Florida.
Yeah. There you go.
You got to find an upside to everything.
Man.
I am.
Should run for like city council or something.
Abandonment issues.
Well, that's great. It's not only is Will giving his driver work, he's also getting out himself while his drive and pushing the carts and helping out.
Yes, and it's like
such a good person.
And what Bobby's saying, he has abandonment issues. So it's not only with his childhood, but also with cart abandonment. So abandonment across the board. So
Bobby was talking about his own abandonment issues.
There it goes. There it goes again. Circus people.
Yeah.
He was raised by wolves.
Isn't that why we're doing this show? Isn't that why we do this?
Is that why we're comics? Because we have some screw loose?
Something's wrong. There's no question about it. Let's help somebody else. This is good. You guys, really, you're earning your degrees.
We're earning our pay.
That's right. My mom is the best. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, you guys aren't? Oh, okay.
I'm paid with your company. My mom is the best. However, she refuses to accept gifts on holidays. If anyone in the family buys her something, she gives it back or even takes it back herself and returns the money. I thought buying her gift cards to her favorite stores for her birthday would work. Now I have a $200 gift card to Sephora. It really takes the fun out of the holidays. Corey from Chicago. So
that's the most selfish thing I've ever heard for Corey. Make your mom something cute. Give her some fucking flowers. She doesn't want a gift. Is your gift supposed to make her gift supposed to make your Christmas better? What is wrong with you, Corey? Jesus.
What is wrong with you, Corey?
He's mad at his mom because she doesn't want a gift for Christmas, and now he's stuck with a card. Corey, Jesus, grow up. That's what I have to say.
Corey, you idiot. Corey.
No, he's not an idiot. He's just being selfish. If somebody says, I don't want this, and then he keeps doing that, and then he keeps getting mad, going, I can't believe everybody's different, man. Maybe she just wants you to make her a nice homemade card that says, I love you. Maybe she just wants to spend some quality time with you, Corey. Maybe that's all she wants. Maybe your stupid $200 Sephora gift card means shit to her because she doesn't want to go to Sephora.
Yeah. So, maybe Sephora's not going to help her.
Right.
I grew up poor. If I gave a gift and mom didn't want it, no problem. I'm keeping it, taking it back, saving the money.
Just give her love, man. It's your mom. What the hell is wrong with you, Corey? I'm mad at you.
So sweet. Krista. It's obvious that your diagnoses and your opinions they come from the heart. You're a doctor with a great bedside manner.
I'm very nice. Gentle.
You are very gentle.
This is me putting on the glove.
Will, you're not,
This is
you're not
Will.
as gentle, Will.
Yeah,
Will.
I'm-
Yeah.
Every cavity search Bobby has given me has been gentle.
Is that right? Is that the pre-show when you guys work
Well, yeah,
together?
when I open for him, I have
Yeah.
to feel like I've been fully inspected.
That's called
Right.
milking. That's called prostate milking. That's a whole
Yes.
different thing. Yes.
He's
Wow.
the best there is.
No, I just gave my daughter this very thing. She wants her birthday 2 days from now. So I said, "What do you want for your birthday?" I don't know. No, I don't know. So I'm gonna go give her a gift card. But now at Amazon, you can give a video gift card. So I gave her a 30-second video gift card. Hi, honey, happy birthday. Since you didn't tell me what you wanted, here's $4,000. Go buy what you want. Well, 4,000. I'm making that up. Here's
Right,
$40 and go.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Wait
I
a
did. I
second.
gave her a video gift card because she's in
Wow.
California.
$10.75.
That's awesome.
$10.75.
200 beans, my friend. 200
Good boy.
beans. What'll a kid do with $200 these
Oh.
days?
Man, oh man. Man, oh man.
Lot of
Anything.
pot.
That's
Lot of
awesome. That's
pot.
really sweet.
Yeah, she's getting some
But-
weed.
Explain to me this video, this video gift
It's
card.
a thing Amazon offers. I saw it. My girlfriend showed it to me today. She said you can send a video gift card. So you get 30 seconds. It took me a couple of takes. As
Okay.
being an actor, I didn't like the first 2 passes. I thought I could do
course.
better. So
Sure.
I said the third pass was perfect, but it was 2 seconds too long, and I don't think I can recreate it. But it took a lot of work, and I got it down to 29 seconds.
Did
It'll be,
you
and it's already been picked up for a series, which is amazing.
is that
to me.
right? Did you invest in a Zoom workshop to coach you for your audition before?
No,
you
it's
put
right
the
there with
first-
your
oh.
phone. You just do it with your
Okay,
phone.
okay.
You just pull up your phone. You go, "Hey, happy birthday, darling!" It's so easy.
But Will,
Amazon's
what was the
kicking money
last-
back to me for promoting them now. So it's,
Is that right?
oh yeah, that's how.
Go ahead,
Will,
Chris. I
what
got a
was the-
question. Go
what
ahead.
What was the last 2 seconds? You said it cut off after 2 seconds. I'm really dying to know what the last couple of words were. Do
I
you
wrote
remember?
I and then love and a cut
Oh.
love in the middle. So I had to go back and pick it up.
But
Got it,
can
got
I
it,
just
got it,
ask a
okay.
question? Maybe
Well,
I'm being
it's
too
about time you asked some questions here.
Yeah.
Right.
maybe I'm being too simple here, but aren't you just giving? Isn't it just like sending a video? Why can't you just send a video and say, "Hey, here's like I'm sending you $200," or do you have
No,
to
because
go through Amazon?
you email or text it to her. She clicks on it, and then she sees $200 prize, and then she sees her dad
Oh.
going, "Hey, honey, happy birthday!"
It's
it's
connected.
It does not have to like watch the video and then I'll look for the money. Like I used to, when she was getting married, and Bobby, you'll find this out one day soon. They want to pay for the wedding. All I did was kept Zelle and Venmo. Every time I got another 1,000 from Venmo, and so I'm done with that. She's married.
My
Yay.
daughter
job.
became a guy.
Well, maybe her wife will want to pay for the wedding.
The other one's family.
Oh, that's great. That is great. You're a big spender there, Will. I want to be part of your family. Every time you give a gift, I'm hearing 4,000, 2,000, 200.
Listen,
I got
when you,
nothing as a kid. I got
Oh,
talking
no, see,
trucks.
the beauty of show business, and Bobby and Crystal back me up, is that they know we're too stupid to save our money. So the unions create these pensions, and when
Sure.
you get to be my age, when I turned 80, I got this pension money, and every month I don't have to work anymore. I get Social Security, pension.
Right.
I'm basically I'm a kept man. I'm like the guy in The Godfather. I'm a retired businessman living on a pension. That's
Right.
me.
My favorite
Damn,
part
Will,
of
you
that-
look so good.
Thank you. When I get close
Sitting
like that,
on
it's
the
even more.
toilet right now.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that whole thing is that when you were talking about knowing the business and being in the business, you completely excluded me. You went, Krista and Bobby know what I'm talking about.
Well, you're the host, and they're the guests. I know
Frank
it's a
has no
given.
idea.
It's a given. You know what the business was like and what it was
Sure.
like to be passed over. I understand
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, talk about it.
Starting to
Barbara
understand
says,
that Will
Good
doesn't
save,
make
Will.
compliments to
thank you,
anybody
Will.
else.
Barbara said, "God bless you. You don't look 80, Will." That's what
I know.
Barbara
It's makeup.
Yes, you're right, Barbara.
It's
I
all-
know Barbara.
Say it
It's-
loud.
It's all lighting. Yeah. Let me show you the 80 part.
Oh, that's a callback to dropping your balls.
God, there you go. Yeah, those they're down there.
You knew we'd go back to it.
Yeah. Let me get them off the floor, and I'll be back with you.
Very good. That's good comedy writing. That was both a sight gag and a callback. Very nice. Good job.
It's magic.
Good job.
It's why.
Uh,
It's why I've come to this show.
It's why you made it so far. Yeah, it's why we're all here. Let's give me
Bartender.
Yeah. What's our next gripe? What do we got? Oh, meatheads at the gym. That's a great way to start.
There you go.
Meatheads at the gym. That's who annoys me. They stack on every weight on some of the equipment at the gym, then rather than put them back, they simply walk away knowing full well that no one besides them lifts that much weight and will need to remove it before using it. I've reported them, but management does nothing. I would switch gyms, but this one is in walking distance to my apartment. Effing meatheads. Danielle from Virginia Beach. Bobby, you know this life. I mean, Bobby's was back in the day. Don't you live near Lou Ferrigno, Bobby? Isn't he down the street?
Next door.
So I know you and Lou are probably, for those of young people that are watching, that was the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I know that you guys probably bang on some weights. What do you do at the gym, Bobby, after you're done bench pressing 250? Are you courteous to the next person to
No, I basically watch the guys that look like they can't pee. Their arms are so big, they can't even move their arms. And a lot of them, you want to ask them, why don't you roll your head around so I can hear that marble going around and around? They're not that high up on Brain Mountain.
So do you ever run into that at the gym?
You really miss your act, don't you?
My wife's Italian, Harry. Wait, we gotta get on the stage.
I know. Get him back on stage. Yeah, forget it. Go work at all COVID crowd.
So, do you feel bad, Krista? Do you frequent the gym? Do you frequent the gym, Krista? Or do you...
I haven't been to the gym in a very long time, but I totally understand. So it's Danielle, it's not Daniel, right? So it's a female. It's a female.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just rude. I don't know. I think that. I mean, are you sure this wasn't from Florida?
It's possible. It's possible.
No, I think it's terrible. I don't know if she's talked to them, or I know she's talked to management, but it depends on her demeanor too, right? So if she's so annoyed and going in there, they may be kind of doing it just to piss her off, because a lot of men that are like that kind of have that childish mentality, and they don't like to be told what to do. Somehow they feel probably, whatever it is. They don't like to be told what to do. So if she's coming in kind of like, Karen, I need to speak with a manager type of thing, they may be doing it just to piss her off. So I don't know. It's hard. It's like there's one part that's like, kill them with kindness. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar type of thing. But did
you have to do the jazz hands when you say that? Did you have to do jazz hands when you talk about?
It was supposed to be an air quote.
Oh, I got you.
Was that
when you're talking about guns, I'm talking about guns.
Look at those guns.
It's called re-racking. You got to put them back on the rack.
Are those tattoos?
Yes. You have tattoos, or me, or
no?
Krista, you got a tattoo under your arm, or is that hair?
Both arms.
I have it's hair and tattoos. No, I have quite a few. Yes,
wow.
Yes. I'm what they call a badass. Just in case you didn't know. So
I didn't read the bio.
Gotcha. That wasn't part of your introduction. I wish I would have known that. I would have done it completely different.
Yeah, I think that's really hard. I think it's hard when you're dealing with that kind of mentality of especially those kind of, look, you have men that are fantastic, wonderful men, like all of you here. You have women that are fantastic women, and then you have the other side. And it sounds like when she's talking about the meathead mentality, that it sucks, because but it might be the way that she's approaching it, and I'm not saying that they're right. I'm saying that maybe she could look at it from a different perspective. And if she could find that, maybe she may be able to win a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what it is yet.
I would think if the meathead is there, right, and he's leaving, the easiest thing would be to be a girl going up to him going, hey, noticed you were working out. Looks really great. Wow, look at your, like what Will just did. He'd probably start to poke, right? And then she could go, do you mind? Wow, Will, that's almost too much to look at.
Yeah, I can push him.
Look at him. Look at him.
That's amazing. That's almost a nauseating thing that's almost a nauseating thing that the air quotes again have to do just to get a guy to do something. Like, just be a gentleman and take it and do it. And whoever the manager is there probably needs to be fired too.
I'm from New York.
I don't know.
Take a barbell back, make like you don't see him, and drop it on him. He won't do it again.
Yeah.
I wasn't I didn't mean to offend. I wasn't saying that she needs to go up and, flirt with him. I was saying that if a nice, somebody who's, being nice to him would say, hey, look, really great. Wow, I was watching, very nice. Do you mind moving? You could probably, a guy couldn't get away with that, but I think a girl to that kind of guy could probably get away with that, asking politely.
And
That's
then
all.
fart
Yeah,
on.
she probably
And then
doesn't
fart
want
on
him. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then fart on him. That
Thank
is what
you.
she needs
Thank
to
you,
do.
Chris.
And only Bobby would
It's
bring that back
all
around.
about
That's
the
fantastic.
Call back.
But it's the way to do. She just needs to honestly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Gotta
that's
get
it.
balls.
Fart.
Yeah, drop the balls.
Drop the
all right.
ball.
Let's you got more, you got anything for me, Will? Will's talking, but I can't hear him. What happened to Will? Oh,
Will's out.
well, while he gets that situated, let me read this next one. David Murphy. You enter a subway car. It's packed. Someone pulls out one of those Bluetooth boom boxes and starts blasting their music. Do you say anything or just put your headphones in and ignore it? Also, what if he's blasting a sexually explicit song? Think WAP. And there are kids on the train. Do you say something then? If so, what do you say? All right.
Yes,
so-
you say something.
Of
Fucking
course you
turn it
say
off.
something.
Yes. You don't just sit there and give him dirty looks. Tell him to turn it off. I'm sure everybody on the whole entire subway feels the same way, right?
Been in that situation many times. All you do is turn around and go, hey, pal, there's kids here. Turn the fucking thing off.
Right.
And then everybody
Oh,
on
I
the
love
subway
that.
gravitates and gives him the look. He turns it off quick.
Will, are you back? No, he's not.
No.
Thank God. Thank God. Really smart and annoying.
Will, there, now I can hear
I
you.
would put the barbells back on the rack.
I was hoping you'd do the rest of the show as a mime, Will.
I don't know what happened to my phone thing.
You really ruined it. You
I
ruined it.
go to a very lazy man's gym. The treadmill has ashtrays on them.
Is that right?
I'm here all week.
That's old. That's old school.
All
That's old
week,
school. Yeah.
Wow.
I got a question.
I love it.
This is for the guys anybody that's been to New York or lived in New York. So what do you think about I'm on the subway train, I'm going to work, right? And the person with the boombox comes in and they start doing their routines, the dance routines, right? Where they're taking up the subway car. How do you feel about that? Have you ever seen this? This happens?
Yeah.
All the time.
Creepy.
If
So
they're good
intensely
at it,
creepy.
you enjoy it. If they're not good at it, you go, the fuck are you doing?
Right. Right? There's one
Yeah.
guy in particular I used to watch, and he would come on, and all he could do, and look, God bless him, I can't do it. All he could do was a backwards flip. And he would just do that to music over and over. That's all he could do. Now, how
Say, how about something different, pal?
right? How long can you watch a backflip? I mean, it's I gave him $1, and then it's like, okay, you're done. Like, there's nothing else to the act. It's like
After
telling
4 or
one
5
joke.
after 4 or 5 hours, it gets tedious.
Right? It's a little much.
You gave him $1. Will would have given.
I gave him 200. I would have given
Yeah,
him
you gave him
200.
$200. Yeah, well, Will's a baller. Apparently, he skis to school.
right.
What did he say? He water skis on his
pension.
boat.
It's the
My
pension.
first
I'm a pensioner.
My
His
first
driver's
composition
position
my first composition when I was a kid was I want to be like Will.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and Will was on the scene back then, wasn't he? When you were still a kid, wasn't he working back then?
No,
I was working with Sullivan. I was working with Sullivan and Milton Berle.
You were great.
no, he wasn't. He was
Holy
upset.
shit. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Um,
Wow.
The kids today with the comedy and the comedy and everybody's dirty these days. We were clean. We were clean.
We
Yes.
were-
Yeah, you were clean and it worked. It was
Yeah.
great.
You have to be funny to be clean, though. That's the problem. You actually have to be funny. That's the issue.
Yeah, the guy on the subway sitting next to me, he had 12 rings going across his eyebrow. I looked at him. I said, maybe you should put a shower curtain up there.
Yeah.
Will!
Ah.
Oh my God. We miss you, Bobby. We miss you.
Yeah, man, do we ever? We got time for one more long one, right? We got time for one more. Let's see. Oh wow, what a start. I hate my last name. I really don't want to repeat it here, but it isn't far from what Ben Stiller dealt with in Meet the Parents. You guys know the movie?
Yes.
Meet
Yes.
Fokker, right? Fokker. I thought about changing it, but then the guilt sets in that this is my family name and I'm offending my parents who seem to not care. Unfortunately, I do. So Deborah's last name, you got any guesses, Will, what Deborah's last name could be?
Deborah Give a Shit?
Give a shit could be a good one. Yeah, yeah. Give a shit. Give a shit. She would be Eastern European. Could we have any other guesses? Krista, what do you think Deborah's last name is?
Fokker.
I don't know if it's that, but it's probably close. But Bobby, you got any guesses?
Balls.
Just balls? Drop your balls?
Yeah,
Never drop your balls?
balls.
All right. So let's say
There's
you
a
have,
time when you go back for the third one and it doesn't land. That's when you know you've made a mistake.
right. That's right. So if your name was, for instance, if your name was Dick Johnson, right?
Right.
Would you go with it? Would you just barrel through and go, look, that's who I am. I'm, maybe put a big in front of your name.
Definitely be a comedian. Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. It depends
Right.
on yeah.
So,
The guy's name is really Richard Johnson, but he's chose to use Dick, which is stupid.
Right.
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 Is
Well,
it?
the
What's
Gilbert.
his name?
He should go with Richard Schlong. He changed his name to Richard Schlong because he didn't.
Well,
Or
There
Bobby Big Cock.
Dick Schlong actually works on many levels.
Oh,
Dick Schlong?
Yeah.
Actually really good. But so do you change your name, Will, or do you
No,
go?
I wouldn't change my name. No, I mean, the only time you change your name, you get into show business and people can't spell it.
Right.
What's her last name?
Well, then she didn't give it. She doesn't want to give it. That's what my first question was. Could we guess what that last name might be that would be so difficult? That was the point. Work with me. That's where I was going with that.
What if her last name was Dallas?
Deborah. Deborah Dallas. Oh, I see.
Deborah does Dallas.
Deborah does Dallas.
Like it was Dallas, but she went by Debbie. It wasn't there a movie to call.
You're not as young as I thought you were. If you remember.
There was.
Oh,
yes.
You went all the way back.
You and Will win for the oldest bringback with.
Yeah.
He said Milton Berle,
No,
which nobody.
Debbie does Dallas.
Debbie Does Dallas. That's right. That was an old movie.
70s
movie. Yeah.
Krista, besides being very attracted to you, Will's still on the toilet.
My kind of guy.
So
This is fun. Let's learn more about it with Krista. So you're on a soap opera now? Is that what you're on?
Right now, this minute, no. I used to be about 20 years
You used
ago.
to be, okay.
Yeah. Krista
Because
was
Bobby Collins and I played DJs once, and it was magic. On Brothers.
What?
What magic?
What'd he say?
What did
When
he
you
say?
and I played DJs on Brothers,
Do you remember that?
What? How long ago was that?
it was in the 90s.
Oh wow! Oh, back then.
Wow.
Oh,
Back
listen,
when-
Frank. Oh, back then.
The heyday.
Yeah.
Back when Bobby was in demand.
That's right. That's right. Yes,
Oh
that's
my
right.
gosh.
The heyday.
I wish I knew what her last name was, but if it was something that was like I was joking, like does Dallas, but it was spelled like or something. If it was something that was embarrassing and she wanted to change her name, maybe change her first name and then she doesn't have to deal. Maybe go by her middle name. If it's embarrassing, if there's something on the end that she doesn't like, which let's face it, most of the things we have on the end we're not crazy about.
That's
We've all
right.
known
That's
people,
right. Good
we've
one.
all known
Oh,
people who've changed their names.
yeah.
And I've known comics. Well, you have too. If their name was Cracker or whatever, say you might want to change your name to make it sound better. And yeah, I'd have no problem with that.
A lot of comics. Yeah, a lot of comics have changed their names over the years.
Did we find out what she does for a living?
She did not say that. She did write a long paragraph.
These are all important things we need to know. What does she do for a living?
Deborah, Dr. Allen cannot give you a proper diagnosis unless you give all the facts. And that's the problem,
I need a
right?
history, okay, Deborah?
Deborah, let me give you an example. My name was not Collins. It was Bobby Bigcock. And it didn't sound right. So I went for the name Collins.
Nobody believed him.
Nobody believed it, right? This didn't work. It didn't fit, is what he's saying. It's not that it didn't sound right. They were like, nah.
That's possible.
Not possible.
But for the rest of the time, you are now Bobby Bigcock. So
Thank
Hey, listen, there's an entire other career that's opened up for you now, Bobby.
Social
no
distancing.
pun
boys.
intended. No pun intended on that. Yes.
There goes your family audience.
Oh man, you guys, this has been really fun. That was the shortest hour I think I've ever spent. Very, very good job, all of you. Now, Krista, you can tell us, what are you working on? This is where you get to plug what's happening in your life, Krista. So what are you working on? What's coming up?
I have a few things coming up. The most important thing that I have, I make my living by acting.
Yeah.
But I'm creating a show right now that's in development right now that I'm super, super, super excited about. So I've been spending so much time on that. I haven't been on social media. I've been like staying away, kind of. I'm not telling everybody what I'm doing. I'm just gonna show up and it's gonna be done. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm just gonna,
yes.
So I'm so excited, and I've been getting barely any sleep, and it's been the most fantastic thing. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that there has been this pandemic, and I tried to make the best of it in every way. And I always complained that I never had enough time to do the things that I wanted to do. And then it finally came to this place where I was like, I have no excuses anymore. So the most important thing is something that hopefully by the next time I do your show, I'll be able to talk about.
Love it.
There's movies and stuff coming out and whatever. But yeah, that's good. That's my baby right now. So I'm really excited to share it when I can. So.
Well, that's a very, very positive response to that question. And now for the other side, Bobby, what's going on? What's happening?
Krista, you'll have to
be brief, won't it? Be brief.
What's happening?
I'm in the middle of, I got 12 chapters done, new book. I'm just finishing the chapter called Almost Wife, First Wife, Second Wife. And then fun road stories from the road.
Awesome. Well, first,
awesome.
In all seriousness, if you haven't read Bobby's book On the Inside, fantastic. Go out and get that. I have a copy. I've read it cover to cover. Awesome.
No
Very
way.
cool stuff.
I will get it on
Do
Amazon, and I will have it by in the next couple of days. I read every night before I go to bed. So
It's
I'm
great.
reading your book. Yes.
It's great stuff. Great stuff. Will, what do you got coming up?
I keep Bobby's book on my nightstand when I have trouble sleeping at night, and it's massive. I'm up for a role in the Bobby Collins story. I'm playing the older years.
And that's a new book called On the Toilet.
No, I currently have the Johnny Carson Show podcast, wherever podcasts are found. We interview people who are on the Tonight Show and talk about the days on the Tonight Show. I also, I'm writing I wrote a Carl Hiaasen book called Hoot that came out as a movie a few years ago. And I'm working on Flush, which is his second kid's book. I'm trying to get that to the screen. And I have not been motivated during COVID to do much work.
Right.
Sadly, I don't feel like doing much. So, but I have a few things in the works, and I'm hoping we'll get back on stage and see the great audiences once again. Right, Bobby?
Thank God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hoping for that. Hoping everything opens up. Guys, it's been amazing. Thank you guys for being here. I want to thank the Big Apple Shopping Bazaar for taking us to the streets of New York and Delray Beach. And follow us every Monday night, 9 o'clock. Go to Comedy Flow on Facebook and YouTube. Follow the show. Give us your comments. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you guys so much, all three of you. Wonderful. Best of luck with everything coming up. And we'll see you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, Frank.
Frank. Take care, guys.
Lose my number.
Bye, everyone.